They wanted to control the human mind, not through persuasion, but through force, through drugs, through hypnosis, through psychological breaking. And in April of 1950, the Central Intelligence Agency gave this ambition a name: Project Bluebird. The first American manhunting program aimed not at bodies, but at thoughts, in a vault of Cold War secrets. Bluebird is the file almost no one talks about, overshadowed by its infamous successor, MK Ultra. Forgotten, not because it failed, but because it was the prototype, the first step toward deliberate scientific mind control. The question that shaped it was simple and terrifying. Can a human being be made to obey without question? Could memory be erased? Could someone be programmed to kill? The agency didn't just want answers. It wanted methods, repeatable, controllable, deniable. To understand Bluebird, you must understand the moment it was born. 1950, the United States was losing information to the Soviet Union. The world was fracturing, East versus West. Inside Langley, the fear was clear. Moscow, Beijing, and Pyongyang were brainwashing prisoners of war. America could not afford to fall behind in a battlefield that left no scars. The CIA's director, Roscoe Hillencutter, approved Bluebird on April 20th, 1950. He authorized covert experiments on memory, obedience, and manipulation. The project was controlled by the Office of Security and the newly formed Office of Scientific Intelligence. Its mission: discover how to control a subject through any means necessary. The paranoia was real. American pilots in Korea confessed to crimes they claimed they never committed. Intelligence officers feared the Soviets were using hypnosis and drugs on captured men. Bluebird was the American response. Do it first. Do it better. Hide it deeper. At its core, Bluebird pursued three goals. First, prevent enemy agents from resisting interrogation. Second, break the will of prisoners withholding information. Third, explore whether the CIA could create a controlled asset, a person who would follow commands against their will and remember nothing afterward. To achieve this, the agency reached inward and downward into prisons, military hospitals, and black sites beyond US law. They wanted disposable bodies, people who couldn't fight back, people no one would miss. Suspected double agents in occupied Europe, prisoners held overseas. Even US servicemen quietly pulled into the program. The CIA found a man willing to push the work further than anyone: Morse Allen, a security officer who believed hypnosis could rewire identity. He ran some of the earliest attempts to create alter personalities on command, sessions in windowless rooms, nights without end, phrases repeated until subjects broke from exhaustion. Then came the drugs, barbiturates to lower inhibition, amphetamines to heighten stress, scopolamine, sodium pentothal. The idea was simple: dissolve the mind's defenses, strip away ego, memory, resistance, then rebuild the subject into something useful. Then came the hallucinogens, first whispered about, then tested. Fort Detrick supplied compounds, some experimental, some taken from captured Nazi research. LSD arrived soon after. Bluebird teams began testing its power for disorientation and collapse. Most subjects never knew they'd been dosed. Isolation became standard. Keep them awake, keep them cold, keep them compliant. Silence them for days, then question them for hours. Interrogators believed that under enough pressure, the mind could be shattered and reshaped. Break the subject, then bend the pieces. A 1951 memo, now declassified, stated, "It should be possible to condition a subject to perform an act of attempted assassination." This was Bluebird's guiding fantasy. Not just interrogation, not just control, creation of human weapons. The program expanded and changed its name. By 1951, Bluebird evolved into Project Artichoke. Same mission, bigger scope, more funding, fewer rules. Under Artichoke, experiments spread across Germany, Japan, and secret sites around the Mediterranean. Overseas meant freedom from American law. Interrogators combined hypnosis and drugs, trying to bury memories or implant instructions. Can we get control of an individual to the point where he will do our bidding against his will? That line appeared word for word in the Artichoke files. The CIA wanted the answer to be yes. Some subjects were foreign prisoners, others U.S. citizens caught in the gears of secrecy. Names weren't recorded, files were destroyed. Decades later, the Church Committee uncovered only fragments, enough to prove the abuses were real and systematic. Agents tested combinations: hypnosis plus morphine, sleep deprivation plus isolation, LSD plus psychological pressure. They wanted the formula that unlocked obedience, and they believed they were close. Morse Allen even reported hypnotizing a secretary and ordering her to shoot a colleague. She pulled the trigger on an unloaded gun and remembered nothing afterward. Then came Sidney Gottlieb, the chemist who would later run MK Ultra. Under him, Artichoke and Bluebird merged into something larger, something that would swallow hundreds of lives and span 80 institutions. Bluebird was no longer a project. It was a foundation, a blueprint. By 1953, the CIA buried the Bluebird and Artichoke titles and replaced them with a new one, MK Ultra. The torch had passed, the secrecy deepened, and the victims multiplied. But the crimes MK Ultra became infamous for were born here. Under the Bluebird name, for 2 decades, almost nothing surfaced. The file lived in rumors, footnotes, and redactions. Then, after Watergate, investigators pried open the CIA's vault. Senator Frank Church's committee uncovered fragments of the truth: illegal drugging of U.S. citizens, covert human experimentation, and attempts to control behavior through chemical and psychological means. Most Bluebird and Artichoke files were destroyed in 1973, under orders from director Richard Helms. The timing was deliberate. The goal, obvious: erase the origin. Leave a mystery too large to prove and too dark to expose. What survived was enough to draw a conclusion. The CIA knowingly violated moral, legal, and human boundaries in pursuit of control. Bluebird wasn't an accident of wartime desperation. It was a choice, calculated, funded, approved, executed. The victims never received justice. Many never learned why their minds changed, or why their memories fractured. Some lived the rest of their lives in hospitals. Some vanished into silence. They weren't soldiers in a war. They were raw material in an experiment. Project Bluebird never answered its central question. It never truly mastered obedience or erased memory at will. But it produced something far more dangerous: belief. The belief that it was possible and worth pursuing. That belief fueled MK Ultra, and through it, 2 decades of covert abuse. And so Bluebird faded into the footnotes of history, forgotten not by accident, but by design, erased by its creators, overshadowed by its successor, hidden behind black ink and burned pages. But the truth is simple. Bluebird was the beginning of America's mind control obsession. The seed, the test bed, the moment the government crossed a line it never wanted the public to see. Bluebird died in name only. Its spirit lived on, through Artichoke, through MK Ultra, through every covert attempt to control the human mind in the decades that followed. And the files suggest that the research never fully stopped, only moved deeper into the shadows. Bluebird asked one question. MK Ultra tried to answer it. And what came after? may still be classified. If you want to uncover more hidden operations like this one, subscribe and stay with us as we open the next file.